So it's a little bit complicated because I went to school in Scotland, but I had done Nat 5s and then hires and advanced hires at school, and we do like 6 years at secondary school. And then I came out of that having kind of base knowledge and kind of like art and stuff, but I was actually more digitally based. And then when I kind of came to uni, I didn't have any real background in SFX whatsoever, but then when I got here it was easy enough because they kind of built from the base level up and kind of, you know, gave us those base skills.
So I did A-levels before I came, but I also worked for 4 years in an engineering company, but I wasn't happy, and I've wanted to do SFX since I was about 16. I started the course when I was 22. So there was a lot of time like thinking about what I want to do, how I want to do it.
A-level wise, so I did A-levels. I did art, craft and design, biology and chemistry. So I actually almost went into forensic science or marine biology, but thought I would not like to sit at a computer or a desk and do that all day, and wanted to do something arty, and this kind of like combined everything. That was just the best for me.
So yeah, it was a bit crazy before I came here. I was doing my A-levels. I did art, biology, geography, and I was going to do a completely different course. And then something clicked and I was like, wait, I'm going to go do a boring course at a boring university, and I'm not going to be able to pick up a paintbrush or a sculpting tool, because why would I do that when I'm doing something else for my career or something? And I didn't like the idea of not doing art. And then, yeah, I started doing like really rubbish Halloween makeup, like special effects. And I thought, oh wait, hang on. They do this but like proper stuff on like films and things. And then I just sort of fell down a rabbit hole of like researching into that, and I was like, this is what I want to do. So at first I think I wanted to do the makeup course, and then I found out that they do the special effects course, which is a bit of everything when I started, and now it's like creatures and really cool stuff, which is right down my street. And, yeah.
So before coming here, I worked just making like fake taxidermy animals, kind of like as an internship almost for a while, and then I just worked there permanently. And it was more like doing some molding and casting, but like I did a lot of sculpting on my side where I could and stuff, just practicing before I came to uni. I did some courses and stuff, short courses. That's why I knew I wanted to go into this area.
So I found out about it on UCAS, I think, and then yeah, I came on an open day, looked around this place, and like the facilities are amazing. Like I feel like we've got everything here. Like and everyone was just so friendly. The studio is so like bright and like lively. It just feels like a really, really nice place to be. And like it's just really welcoming from like the moment you've stepped foot through the door. It's just, and I was like, damn, this might be a cool place to be. And yeah, I think I was very right about that.
So when I was looking for courses on UCAS, I was unsure where I wanted to go, but I actually ended up looking at the course for the VFX course, and then came in for a open day and looked around both the VFX kind of department and then here, and I was kind of overwhelmed by the just awesome stuff up here in the studio. I kind of came in, there was like a dial-up outside the door, we had loads of things all over the walls, and I think that really like solidified it in my mind as like my first choice. And then when I kind of came to do my interview, I was originally meant to be going on to VFX, but interviewed for the SFX course, and then kind of this was immediately my first choice for how amazing kind of everybody was, and yeah, got in, and yeah. Haven't regretted it since. So
I came to 2 open days at Bolton. I'd been to another university for a similar course, but I preferred like the environment at Bolton and the more of like the family aspect of the SFX course. and it just felt like home compared to the other university that I visited.
So the first time I saw Bolton, I was, I think it was at like an open kind of thing for art universities in Manchester, in I think one of the museums or one of the halls or something, where it's just like loads of art courses, and the Bolton one looked really interesting. Like there was, I think, Dobby on display and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, that looks cool. So yeah, and then I talked to some of the people there.
I found at first coming to uni, it's always that nerve-wracking initial, you meet the staff, you don't know how things are going to go, how people are, but the staff team here are very welcoming, very like supportive whenever you need them. If there's something going on in the studio, they're always there to lend a help.
Yeah, the office is like right next to the studio, and that's like brilliant because they're sort of like always there, and their desks are in the studio with you. So it's sometimes they're working on a project and you're working on a project, and you can be like, oh, what do you think to this? Or sometimes they're like, look at this thing I'm doing, and it's like really cool. Like everyone's sort of like quite together, and it's like easy to access them. Like they've got, I think they used to have a timetable on the door, 7:03, which was really useful. So like outside of class times and stuff, they're always there to talk to.
So all the staff is really, really friendly, really like eager to help whenever something goes wrong, which is quite a few times when you're like new to everything. They're always like able to explain stuff really easily. So I came in not knowing anything about SFX at all. I just like making things. But yeah, it was all super approachable, super like, you could literally just walk in and be like, I need some help, and they would like come out and try and help and do the best.
The staff were fantastic. In my first year, I was definitely nervous to approach but I only think that's because there was such kind of a tight community here already. So like I kind of came in first year, all the second and third years knew you guys really well, and like they were like interacting with you, so it was a little bit daunting. But as soon as I kind of got in, you guys start teaching, and especially into my second year, you guys were kind of supportive at all times. I felt like I could come to you guys at any time. You know, your doors always open, and yeah, you guys kind of, especially then moving into third year, it was like you were always there to support us and had a wealth of knowledge as well, to always kind of willing to share that with us.
When I first started here, I think it was like second years on one side of the room and third years on the other side, and the first years came in and mingled. But like since I've been here, like all the desks are mixed and matched around the room, which is brilliant. So you've got second years next to third years, and like everyone helps one another out. And the second year might be like, how do I do this? And the third year's like, do it like this. And you know, you just got that sort of like, everyone sort of chills together, and then like outside of uni and stuff, we all hang together. It's just really nice, it's really welcoming. Like, the first years come in, and the third years are like, hi! And they're all shy in the corner because they're new. And then next minute, you know, like about a month down the line, they're all talking to you like you've known one another for years. So yeah.
Absolutely. I kind of, in first year, there was quite a lot of us. We were quite a big gang, but we were split into two, and in my class, I got on with like a lot of people. And then kind of when we got split into kind of the SFX class for second and third year, I immediately like bonded with my class. We're still really close to this day. And also with like the other years, because we're all in this like studio, in this communal space, it's really easy for us to go and talk to them. We can ask for, you know, if in the years above us, we could ask them for help, and then like other people could come and ask, and it was really nice to be able to interact with them kind of at all times, because we were always in here every day. And then kind of that carried on when I left uni as well. You know, I work with 4 people from the uni, and I don't think that would have been possible if we hadn't been so kind of able to interact here at uni.
So there's like a really big community feel. So like all the students are sort of put in the same room, made to interact with each other. But that's really good because you can learn yourself by teaching something you know to the lower years, and then get some like help and guidance from those in the upper years. We're kind of just like one big family of people.
The friendship between years is obvious, and you can see how much the years above help the years below, and just the trickle of information going down through the years is awesome. But also across like a single year, we would be helping each other out as much as we could. We'd be supporting each other, loaning tools out. But it's the family essence of the course in itself is the thing that I remember the most, and it's just all happy memories.
Yeah, so generally, like, there was like pre-COVID and everything as well, especially there was a large mix of students who would work in the studio at all times. You would get to see other years' work, you'd get to learn from your peers, even just in your general class. Like now, we'd see each other's work, we'd support each other throughout if we're having issues and stuff, so it was always really helpful.
So the industry weeks, they were just got to do loads of stuff that I wouldn't have done otherwise. So like I'm more like props and costume based, but when people come in and teach you silicone painting, it's another transferable skill that you wouldn't have learned otherwise, and you're learning it from these people that are just really good at their job. They're just like super friendly, and it just gives you like a really good opportunity to ask really obscure questions, or even just general questions that you would not know the answer to otherwise, because they just don't exist on Google. It's not something that you can type in.
So meeting kind of industry professionals in the course was kind of great in the fact that when I kind of was looking to head out at the end of my third year, I knew who I could go and contact, who to send my CV through to. At least I'd even like met a few of them. So, I kind of knew a few people kind of face to face, and having the industry weeks was especially useful, kind of seeing kind of talks, getting like a feel for specific kind of workshops and stuff that I might want to go and work at, which has worked really well, because even now I'm applying to jobs in these places, and I feel like when I contact them, I can be like, I saw you at the University of Bolton, you did a fantastic talk, and it's actually made me really willing to, your workshop looks fantastic, it's like a place I would like to go and work. And it just makes me feel a bit more comfortable kind of going out. It's quite daunting thinking about going out into an industry where you don't know anyone, but if you have, few names and faces that I think that's really useful, and I think the uni does a fantastic job of bringing in those industry practitioners for us to meet.
Yeah, so I found that when industry talks would come up here, it was very accessible for us to network with those who are coming to visit, and we could easily show them a portfolio, show them our work. It would be quite casual in some ways, where they'd come around and see your desks and they'd see your work that you're working on. And it was nice to have that like one-on-one experience with the lecturers who would come in.
Oh, we had like loads of industry professionals come in. We have like industry weeks and stuff where they come in. It's like a new person every day. And it's insane. I mean, you go for job interviews now, and I'll see these people, I see what they create in the studio, and like initially you're like, oh my god, they do this, and you get panicky. Whereas like now that I've spoken to the industry people at uni and sort of like build a rapport with them, it makes things easier when I get into industry. And you've got an interview with a random person, you aspire to be them, and you're all like anxious, and I'm not really that anxious anymore. Like, it's just easy to talk to people.
Yeah, so even though I've only recently graduated, I've been applying for jobs within an industry just to try and keep my skills up, keep sculpting, keep molding. Even then, like, I've been working on stuff like digital at home, so I've been doing a lot of Blender work and like 3D modeling and stuff, and 3D sculpting. I would just say to previous students, don't be intimidated to ask for help when you need it. Go do research outside of the course, and go and keep drawing, keep sculpting in your free time. Like, uni isn't just the only place for that. You can do that whenever.
So actually finding the first job in the industry was like the hardest point of it. But so what I did is I just sent out loads of emails to loads of different companies, but like personalized everything that I did to send to them. Because I in uni did a lot of like, I tried to do a big variety of things. So I had quite a few things to like just send out to like random people. So I can do all of these different skills. And then when you get a job in the industry, so I started out as, I did work experience, and then I was kept on as a trainee because I could do more things than they needed me to do. And then I stayed longer because I could do more of those things. And then you kind of like build the connections and move on to like bigger and better things. So I worked for like a little stop motion animation model making company, and then went to do costume effects for big things.
So I am currently at a company called Innovus Medical. We make medical simulations for trainee doctors to practice surgeries and different procedures on, and I work basically as kind of a silicon runner, and also kind of dabbling and potentially moving up into design at some point, hopefully. I got this job through knowing a student in the year above me. So I had kind of talked a lot with the year above, and because I knew her, I saw her advertising for jobs at her company, and I contacted her. I went and did some work experience, and then after my 2 weeks of work experience there, I went back home, and then they called me up and asked if I could go and do some more work, and that was meant to be for about 2 weeks, and I've now been there for 10 months because they kind of just didn't let me go home. So it was a kind of brilliant experience to go and do that out of the bat, but you know, eventually I want to go on and do kind of workshop stuff, make props, but for like people looking to go out into industry after the course and people to look on going on to the course, don't ever rule anything out. Just when you're going out, apply to as many jobs as you can, kind of, even if it's not something that you particularly want to specialize in, just do it anyway. It's going to give you that experience, and you'll probably actually end up like liking it a lot more than you thought you would. So kind of don't kind of put anything by the wayside. Film and TV isn't everything. Go and do some other stuff, and it'll get you the experience that you need to then maybe go and do exactly what you want in the future.
Yeah, so I left uni in the middle of COVID, which was a bit of a stress. But I think the way it was handled was sort of good. We had like a good send off on the team and stuff. And then, yeah, I applied everywhere. Like, just don't give up. Like, if that's like one piece of advice, just don't give up. Keep applying. If you don't hear back, chase up. Just be annoying, but not super annoying. Yeah, so I applied to like everywhere. And then I got an interview at a company called JSM Models and Effects down in Marlborough. So that's where I work now. It's pretty brilliant. Yeah, we're making dinosaurs, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's crazy, but fun. And I'm like so happy that I did the course and I got into industry, and yeah, I'm just excited to see where the industry takes me next, really.